Hi everyone, I am Teresa. In the last chapter I read you of Amelia, Bedelia Makes a Splash, book 11, was chapter 6, which is called Are We Still on Earth? So today I'll read you chapter 7, which is called Fire When Ready. The next morning, Amelia Bedelia was afraid to get out of bed. She had woken up by herself. No alarm clock, no one shaking her awake, worrying that she'd be late, not even finally bounding onto her bed. She was awakened by a voice singing so sweetly that she thought that it must be an angel circling outside, or the ghosts of that lost camper. Amelia Bedelia was scared to look. Someone beneath her was snoring like a buzzsaw. Amelia Bedelia blinked her eye open and peeked at the bottom bunk. Alice snorted and turned over just as the singer came through the cabin door. "Good morning," Peggy whispered, Amelia Bedelia waving a tiny wave. Peggy kept right on singing, never missing a note. She was singing about baby birds waking up on the day they would fly for the first time. This is a scribble. This is Amelia Bedelia thinking of an angel. And this is Amelia Bedelia in her bunk bed, peeking her eye open. "Amelia Bedelia, you have a stubborn streak," sang Peggy sweetly. First, we can't get you into your uniform, and now we can't get you out of it." That's when it dawned on Amelia Bedelia that she'd been so tired last night that she slept in her clothes. After everyone was up and dressed and Amelia Bedelia changed, they met Peggy outside. "Ladies, the day is young and so are you," said Peggy. "We've got lots to do. Let's shake off our sleepies." The straight-as formed a circle around Peggy for warm-up stretches. "Pay attention," she said. "Tomorrow one of you will lead these exercises." Once they were limber and awake, they hiked over to the main meeting circle to join the other campers for announcements before breakfast. Miss Evans was waving a piece of paper over her head. "Girls, make sure that you keep your schedules of activities handy." These are two birds. This is the sun coming up. And this is Amelia Bedelia in her bunk bed with Peggy talking to her. And this is Miss Evans waving the schedule of activity. And that way we can all be on the same page. "Oh, great," thought Amelia Bedelia. "The person in charge is making less sense today than she did yesterday. How could Miss Evans expect all of us to fit on that tiny page? Plus, she'd mailed her schedule home to her parents. Maybe she could share Alice's schedule." Just then, a gust of wind blew the piece of paper out of Miss Evans' hand. It went skittering along the ground. A counselor quickly stepped on it, covering it with her shoe so it wouldn't blow away. Amelia Bedelia turned to Alice and whispered, "See, only one person can fit on that page." "Did Miss Evans just litter?" asked Alice. "Yep," said Amelia Bedelia. After a delicious breakfast of yummy blueberry pancakes and bacon, Peggy led the Polaris girls to their first activity. "I teach archery in the morning," said Peggy, "so I'm dropping you off with my friend Melody. She'll teach you how to be outdoorsmen." "I don't want to be a man," said Annie. "Me neither," said Alicia. "I'd rather be an outdoors woman," said Amy. "Or indoors woman," said Alice. Amelia Bedelia was beginning to feel right at home. This is the piece of paper flying around in the wind. And this is someone stepping on it so it won't blow away. And this is Alice. This is bacon and blueberry pancakes. Peggy began walking backward, facing the girls as she talked. "We've got just enough time to learn a song along the way," she said, launching into the lyrics. She didn't sound like an angel anymore. She was more like one of the girls as she sang at the top of her lungs. "Black socks, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the blacker they get. Sometimes I think I should wash them, but something keeps telling me, oh no, not yet, not yet, not yet." The straight as laughed. "The song can go on," said Peggy. "If you say black socks 10, then everyone has to sing not yet 10 times while you count them off." "Black socks 20, yelled Amy. They'd just sung the last not yet when they arrived at a place that looked as if the pioneers had just left in a covered wagon. Peggy introduced them to Melody, then headed off to teach archery. "Good morning, Polaris. I'm Melody. Welcome to Survival Skills. Today we're going to learn one of the most important skills for surveying in the wilderness, how to build and start a fire." "I was told never to play with matches," said Bedelia. "That's right," said Melody. "We won't be using matches and we're not playing." These are music notes. And these are a lot of socks. And these are a lot of dog footprints. And matches. Out in the woods, you may need a fire to signal people to rescue you, to dry out your clothes, to warm you up, to cook you your food, even to keep wild animals at bay. Melody had everyone's attention now. "I thought this was Echo Lake," said Bedelia. "Where's the bay?" "Hold your questions, please. Now, there are two main ways to start a fire safely," said Melody. "One is the teepee method, and the other is the log cabin method." Annie raised her hand. "Why are they named after teepees and log cabins?" "Because that's what they look like," said Melody, holding up a big diagram. "Let's build one of each. We need to clear an area, arrange these stones in a circle, then gather some tinder, kindling, and logs." The girls got to work making the area safe to build their fires. Then they grabbed handfuls of dry grass and moss, some small sticks, and a few larger pieces of wood. "Remember to leave a little door in your teepee," said Melody. This is a beehive. This is a woodpecker. This is a bear. And this is a bear saying, "Grrr!" And this is a bear, fox, and moose. And these are fire and stones, moss, sticks, another stone, and this is Melody. You need to light the tinder inside. What if you built a tiny teepee fire inside the log cabin, said Alicia. That would set the log cabin on fire from the inside. Nice idea, said Melody. You're thinking out of the box, just like a Camp Echowood camper. Now all we need is a match, said Alice, once the straight as had constructed their teepee and log cabin structures. Here you go, said Melody, handing her a rock. It was light brown with a milky edge, and it looked like a chip from a larger stone. That's flint, she said. It's been used to start fires since the days of the caveman and cavewoman, said Amy. Yeah, said Alicia. They probably had to light fires to cook saber-toothed tigers for dinner. Melody smiled. There's evidence that our ancestors, as far back as the Stone Age, used controlled fire to cook. Scooping up a handful of tinder, she formed it into something that resembled a little bird's nest, making a depression in the middle with her thumbs. Taking the flint, she held it over the tinder and struck edge with a small steel bar. Nothing happened. Melody turns the flint around and tried again. These are pictures and labels saying 3 types of campfires: teepee, leave door open to light, log cabin, and Alicia. This is a fire. This is the shape of a bird nest. And this is flint. Nothing happened again. The girls looked at one another. Amelia and Bedelia was feeling bad for Melody, who turned the flint around again, and this time struck it much harder with the steel. A shower of sparks rained down on the tinder. Ooh, baby fireworks, said Annie. A tiny spark began glowing in the tinder, sending up a curl of smoke. Blow gently, Melody said to Alice. Feed more tinder into the glow. A bigger wisp of smoke rose up until there was a glow inside the tinder, and then poof! The little ball of tinder became a little ball of flames. Each straight, it got the chance to start a fire using flint and steel. They also learned how to extinguish a fire safely and completely. Too soon, Peggy arrived to take them to the next activity. Tomorrow we'll learn some basic first aid, said Melody. Then on to knots. This way, more fun than playing with matches, said Amy. Not that I would ever do something so stupid and dangerous. The other girls looked over at Amy. Yeah, right, said Alicia. There's smoke, and this is fire. Okay, bye everyone. Read you chapter 8 next time.